One. Hello, welcome to another YYC community quarantine interview. I'm your host, Lionel McWinnow, King of YYC, and Zambi King. You can talk, you can talk to all the queens and princesses. They all agree that I'm the Zambi King, of course. And I'm here with my two favorite people in the whole world from YYC fans, Pat and Alex. Yay!
Thanks for having us, Lionel.
Thank you very much.
Super stoked to talk to you.
Yeah, I remember the first time we met, but you're like, is that the OVO ad? I'm like, oh yeah, it did. Yeah.
Instantly, we were best friends immediately once I saw your hat.
Yeah, I'm like OVO. By the way, did you guys listen to the new Drake song?
Yeah, of course. We've mastered the dance and everything.
Of course.
But, and also I got to ask, how are you guys doing in your quarantining?
You know what? I mean, I think quarantine is tough on everybody for different reasons. And I think it has its positives as well. So I'd say actually for the most part, our lives haven't been too different in the day to day. As you know, I have a day job. I work at ATB Financial. So I primarily worked from home anyway. I was working from home probably 3 to 4 days a week already. So my life in that respect hasn't changed too much. And likewise, the guys are still in the shop building vans, which is really nice that we've been able to continue to move forward our production of our custom vans.
Yeah,
So,
we're a little bit, things have changed a little bit in the shop. Like we've reduced our production a little bit just to try and reduce the amount of risk between the guys and myself and people that work with us at the co-working space here. So, but we're still moving forward, which is a lot more than we can say about a lot of other companies. So we're very lucky.
We definitely miss, getting out and connecting with the community and hanging out with cool people like you and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like you doesn't really. Yeah, but and also besides working, do you have you guys been on a Netflix band?
We were kind of at the beginning of quarantine a little bit, hey?
I've been really trying not to do that, but I think I was telling Pat this, that I put a lot of pressure on myself at the beginning of quarantine. I was like, I'm going to use this time to be super productive. I'm going to grow a whole bunch.
Get super ripped.
Learn all these new skills. And I think it's actually, I think whether we know it or not, it takes a little bit of a mental toll, this whole pandemic thing, right, that we're all going through. So I've sort of I've let go of all that pressure that I had on myself in the beginning. And so I think I've done a little bit more Netflixing, but definitely focusing on reading and doing yoga and doing things that kind of bring me joy. We've been going out for bike rides and
yeah, I bought a new bike, Lionel.
Oh, nice. What kind?
It's an old gravel bike. It's a 2015 gravel bike.
Damn.
So I ride every day, and it's super nice. I haven't been on a bicycle in probably 3 years before I bought this bike. So it's been awesome being outside, yeah.
Oh yeah, and you should be careful with. There's a lot. I've been talking to a few neighbors. There are a bunch of bikes being stolen. And then my mindset is like, why are people selling things during this time, right? Like, why not be kind to one another?
That's a great point.
Not everyone's as kind as you though, Lionel,
You flatter me too much, Pat.
So fun.
Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about your company. So, why Nomad? What does what does the name mean, and what is your business all about?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So Yama actually comes from my grandmother's maiden name. So her maiden name was Nishiyama, and in Japanese that means West Mountain. And so, because of course she's my grandmother, not my grandfather, the name didn't pass down to us and our generations. Of course, we took our grandfather's name and then our parents, of course. So this was something that we thought tied in really naturally. It's a bit of an homage to grandma too. And of course, it's kind of nice for us to have the pride in having our name literally on everything we do. So the word Yama literally means means mountain, but for us, it's a little more about just the fact that we're putting our name on what we produce. We're proud of it. It's got a quality standard that we are very proud of, and of course, a bit of a deeper meaning for us too. So when you look at Yama Nomad, of course, literally it is mountain nomad, which for us these vans is exactly what they are, and it's yeah, it's a good fit. So we thought it was a perfect idea.
Yeah. And just building off of that a little bit, like why we ended up developing this company and what it's really all about, like as you asked, is it's really about connecting with nature and getting outside and allowing people and enabling people to have freedom and autonomy when they travel, and spend more time doing what they love. So we both grew up doing a lot of camping and hiking and, you know, having the Rocky Mountains in our backyard, and our families really instilled in us appreciation for that mountain range, and being able to go outside and explore. So I think it was kind of a no-brainer once we sort of went down this path, and a lot of things clicked into place for us when we started looking at what it would look like to start this van company, which originally started as a rental and now has evolved into a conversion company as well.
Nice, and I love how you put like your family and how it inspired you guys with the name, and how your passion for the outdoors really like you're doing something what you love. So it your experience like going to the mountain, did it inspire you to create the company?
Yeah.
I think it tied together with that. Like, I don't think that was the original reason we started this company. I think the original reason was like we had a desire to do something kind of crazy. We were like, let's build a van and travel across North America into Central and South America. We haven't done that yet. We started looking at the opportunity. We were like, okay, these vans are really expensive. How do we sort of subsidize our costs? So we bought a van, we built it out. We're like, okay, we'll rent this thing out and try and get some money back for it. And then dug a little deeper and saw more of an opportunity there. So ended up exploring that path a little bit further, figured out that we really had a passion for building them both beautifully and super functionally. And so that sort of evolved into the custom conversions when people started reaching out to us being like, how the heck do I get you guys to build me one of these beautiful vehicles as well? So it started as like, I'd say a more passion for freedom and wanting to go on this really awesome trip. And we still would love to do that at some point. And then tied in super nicely with the fact that we do love exploring the mountains here in our backyard and would love to take these vehicles and go and explore the mountains across North America. So.
Oh, that would be so awesome to like go traveling across do Central America. That would be the dream. And I got to ask you, you talk about having road trips and driving out. So, and I will figure that you guys been doing a lot of traveling with your friends. So
A decent
What
amount.
is the coolest place you guys ever been to?
Wow. I would say our favorite place to travel, we have not traveled in a van, but does tie into our company and the inspiration behind our company van. So Pat and I spent a month in Japan
Wow.
17, yeah.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years ago.
2.5, yeah.
And completely fell in love with the country. And so it was basically almost right after we came back where we started sort of like brainstorming this idea of like what this could look like. And we love that country for so many different reasons. And I would love to travel in a van there. But I think it ties into, of course, Pat's heritage, but also the Japanese have this way of building things that are like extremely functional, extremely beautiful, crafted so well, and just like very thoughtful. And that's what we wanted to pay tribute to when building our conversions as well. So it's absolutely, I think I can speak for both of us saying it's been our favorite place to travel. As far as like van road trips go, I think like the most memorable one for me is where we traveled across Maui for 10 days in a van and just like lived like surf bums and beach bums and had an amazing time. And this van was extremely rustic. It was definitely built a little bit different.
Yeah.
It was pretty vintage. Didn't have a bathroom or anything like that. So we had to like, get creative with our showering and everything. But such a beautiful, beautiful experience.
That's the best way to experience that island, I think, or Hawaii in general.
Yeah.
Or just traveling in general. But it was our first time to Hawaii, and I don't know if I'd ever want to visit it not traveling in a van.
Yeah.
We toured the whole island. We did the whole lap around the island, went up Haleakala Mountain, and it was incredible.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever come back from a trip and thought like, wow, I totally saw like everything I wanted to see, and I feel like I checked that off my bucket list and I don't need to go back. And that's exactly how I felt when we came home from Hawaii. So yeah, it was really cool. We kind of just like parked wherever we wanted on the beach every night and found all the hikes we wanted to do. And like Pat said, watch the sunrise at Haleakala. So it was really awesome.
Oh man, listening to you guys make me a little jealous because Japan is one of the places one of the dream places that I wanna go to with the photos. And
yeah, especially for photos.
yeah, because you guys talk about the culture there and the functionality. Like, I think Japan is so much ahead from the rest of the world that they're really innovative with their ideas and with their technology. It's just incredible.
Yeah, and I think the coolest thing about Japan that we don't really have as much here in Canada is like this sort of juxtaposition that exists in their culture between like super rich, like long-standing heritage. You know, they've been in existence for so much longer than Canadians have, right? And so, and then there's like you go into Tokyo and it's like this crazy modern city with just like the craziest things that you could ever imagine, so unique. And so it's kind of cool that they have that sort of juxtaposition between like really old rich heritage and this like new crazy technologies that you can't even imagine here in North America.
And also the food, right? Am I right?
Oh, the food.
We ate
Don't
so
even get me
much
started,
ramen. So much ramen. We'd have ramen like 2 or 3 times a day sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the delicacy of Japanese food. It's just so good. Like, I could eat Japanese food for every day in a row for like a month.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel the same way. You should definitely go and visit. It's an amazing country.
Yeah, I was gonna go to the Philippines in December, but I don't know with the virus and everything. So that's why I've been, spending things. So, and you can talk about driving to Hawaii, driving around Hawaii. So I wanna ask, what is the longest road trip you guys have ever been?
Hmm. I don't know if
That might
we've
be
been
it.
on like a super long road trip yet.
That might be the longest road trip.
Yeah.
Because it was 10 days and we were driving every day and living in the van. So I guess I guess that would probably be it.
We've done a lot of like camping and like stop and go camping, but we haven't done like a really significant road trip yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Like you did one sort of in Italy that wasn't in a van, but
Yeah, I've driven around Europe for like a week and a half. So kind of the same time frame as Hawaii. But yeah, kind of around that 10-day mark is probably our longest.
yeah, we're looking, as I mentioned to you earlier, we're getting married in November.
Yep.
We're considering like a big van road trip as like a fun honeymoon to do as well. So
Oh, nice. That's why I wanna get married too. Gotta go for the honeymoon. By the way, I'm single, ladies, so
Yeah.
hit me up later. Well, I got to ask you, there's a question that I was thinking, because when I think of road trip, I some of them are, all of them are really memorable because we like friends, especially like those family road trip. So from you to visit your most memorable road trip that you guys ever taken.
That's a really good question. I, especially growing up, like my family did a ton of road trips to go out camping in the mountains. And lots of memories of like long car rides and fighting with your
I Spy
siblings.
and
Oh yeah.
And all those kind of games and stuff that you play. And my best friend would always come with us, Carolyn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she would always come with us because she's basically part of our family, my sister as well. So that's a good question. I'd say from like my most memorable recently, last year, Carolyn and I did like a Alberta, BC road trip in the van for a few days. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was so much fun, just the two of us, kind of being spontaneous and going hiking and spending some time outdoors in nature. And since we've started this company, I mean, we've been go, go, go. And so it's been hard to take time off in the way that you'd hoped once you start a van company, right?
yeah, it's kind of ironic. Like we started this because we love the outdoors and exploring, and we've done probably less of that since we've started. We've just been so freaking busy.
Yeah.
Which is good. Like can't complain. Like things have been very good. But yeah, it's kind of ironic how that works.
Yeah, it's a labor of love, but hopefully this year we're trending to have a little bit more time off, and this COVID thing has like thrown us for a little bit of a loop, but hopefully Pat and I will get some time to get out and explore in the van this year too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like for me, like I've been thinking about my most memorable moments about having a road trip, and I think of like me and the all entire family like going to Disneyland where we were like we like drove, like me, my old entire family and my cousin, we drove all the way to Disneyland.
that's awesome.
That's
2 days. Yeah, 2-day road trip. Really, I think for like us kids, like we haven't noticed, like we were just having a good time, but for the adults, it it was really stressful for them
Yeah.
because like
Oh,
like I noticed now, like when you're like the road tripping for a long time and going on trip with someone, like people get annoyed.
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. You get on each other's nerves quickly, but that's super. That sounds like an amazing trip. I don't know, there's something about just like jumping in the car and getting on the open road, right? And listening to music and all that. That's another thing Pat and I have been doing a little bit during quarantine is like, I think we have some of our best discussions about life and about Yama and about everything like while we are on the road. So
Mhm.
we've been doing a little bit of that as well.
So Lionel, how many people were on that road trip?
Then,
Said all your family and your cousins. So that's gotta be
yeah,
big, right?
yeah. Let me see. It's about I wanna say about 20 people,
Wow,
including my grandma.
that's
How many
awesome.
cars did you guys take?
We took 4 cars.
Yeah.
4 cars.
Four packed cars.
Yeah, so for like one Sequoia, one van, and 2 SUVs.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, it was like I think my grandma was the most annoyed out of everyone in the trip because my grandma was actually my grandma wasn't that old during that time. She was only 70 not 78,
Mm.
but yeah, like she like get into that age of thinking like, I got wanna keep on moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 I can imagine. That's a long time to be in the car for anyone, right?
Yeah, and like I remember me and my mom usually road trip for me and a friend usually road trip to Vancouver because my sister went to UBC
Mm.
Mm.
when she was going to go there, so we used to like go and visit her, but like after she graduated, I find it now like she like easily like she like easily like no like the trip to Vancouver is now cheaper if you can fly there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Such a nice drive though. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did that one a couple times last year,
Mhm.
just back and forth from the island. Always a good time.
Yeah. And I wanna ask you about talking about your dream road trip. I wanna ask you about dead or alive. Who would your ideal person to be to bring in a road trip with?
I'd probably bring you.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that can really we could do a lot of damage if we just go across Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
I
at that.
I have
Yeah,
to say I don't know why this is the
Mm.
first person who comes to my head, and it's like really, really
Are you gonna say Will Smith?
what? No,
No. I had this feeling you were gonna say Will Smith.
that's weird. No, I was gonna say Beyonce.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I feel like we could have some like really good singing in the car sessions.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Right? And just like jam out. I'm surprised you didn't say Kobe.
Kobe. Okay, maybe Lionel and Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe.
Somebody
Yeah.
who knows, like, I'd love somebody who's like really well experienced in like all of the Rocky Mountains across North America and could like kind of guide us and go on some like sweet adventures, like whether that's like hiking or climbing or biking, like somebody who could like really show us around. I don't know who that would be.
You know who'd also be cool is the founder of Patagonia.
Yvonne.
Yeah.
Yvonne
Yeah, that would be cool too.
Yeah. So you asked for one, and we're
I
giving
got
you
lots.
a whole.
How
about you?
About me? About me, I wanna say probably Michael Jordan. I wanna like get that is brain, and I got all the time in the world when we're both swimming.
If you did, what would you wear? You'd wear your new Jordans.
Yeah, I wear my own. I wear Jordan everything. I believe in my God. The Chicago Bulls number 45.
Yeah.
30, and then something like, hey, I'm a really big fan.
Guess what, Lionel?
Nice.
What?
Top secret information for you. We're coming out with a Yama brand apparel line on Monday.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna like one piece in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see you wearing it right now. You're gonna dig it.
If it like got that sweet wear like that, if it like inspired by by a celebrity.
It's not inspired by a celebrity,
this one.
but it's I think it's really true to like who we are and who our brand is. So sort of like minimalism, of course, like the Yama logo, super sort of essential, brings in like our colors and
yeah, and it's only 4 items for now, but it's gonna be a good starting point for us. But we're curious to hear what you think once we release it too.
Nice. And then I'm so excited for it, and I'm definitely gonna buy it. And like moving on with your company, like I did my research and like reading your goals. You want to plant 2,000 trees. Why is that important to you guys?
so many different reasons behind that, but we wanted to give back to our planet in a way that was really meaningful. I think inherently our business model has some undesirable impacts on the environment, and we're super passionate about like living sustainably and leave no trace, and making sure that our guests are really following those principles as well when they're in the van. And so we landed on trees because trees, we have such an issue with deforestation across our planet, and trees really give back in so many different ways by removing carbon emissions from the air, and they help offset the emissions from the vans that we build and we rent as well. So that's our goal for this year. I would love to plant like 1 million trees, and I hope one day we can do that and give back in many, many other ways. But it's super important for us, and something I'm particularly super passionate about is making sure we take care of this beautiful planet, right? If without it, we wouldn't have this business. So,
Well,
yeah.
you wanna make it rain.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted trees everywhere.
I guess the only thing I would add is I think we chose trees too because it's quite easy to understand how it positively impacts the negative consequences of our business. It's also an easy thing to explain to people that, per X, we plant X trees. It's quite easy to understand, and for us to execute is quite easy as well. So it just worked really well for us. And yeah, the first year went quite well, and we're looking to do much bigger numbers this year. So
Yeah, and as a small business, that was super crucial, that it was something that we could do easily and create a big impact, right? And so in the future, I hope we can expand those efforts in lots of different ways. But for now, it's been like the simplest way that we can tangibly give back and give that opportunity to our customers as well. So we always plant trees for our renters, one for every 100 kilometers that they travel, and we plant 200 trees for every conversion that we do as well. But we give them the opportunity to plant more if they want to. And not surprisingly, we have amazing guests and clients. They often opt in to plant more trees as well. So it's a really fun program.
yeah, and I think our goal is 2,000. That it is quite conservative, so we should be able to crush that goal. But we wanted to make sure we were able to achieve it. So we're hoping to do much more than that.
Perfect, and I love your idea about giving back to Mother Nature, because without it, we won't be here right now, right?
Totally.
And talking about that, you guys have a magazine called Fine. So I wanna ask, is traveling and adventure the motivation behind the magazine?
I'd say, I mean, this community of people, the adventurers, explorers, people who love like getting outdoors and appreciate going on adventures and being active and all of that kind of stuff. And such a wonderful community of people. And they're super open to sharing their experiences, their stories, any tools and tips and stuff that they have. So I think the inspiration behind it was just like, can we bring together these different people from all over North America and maybe all over the world and share their stories, right? And not just about like van life, but about all types of adventures and all types of gear. And how can we find like what we think are some of the best products that we want to share with this community? So that initiative was really about sort of bringing people together and being able to share their stories.
Oh man, that is beautiful, and that's why I got into photography, because it's a way for me to connect. It's how I connect with you guys and how I connect with everyone else in the community. And speaking of community, why is it so important to support locals and giving back?
You want to answer this one? I feel like I've been doing all the talking.
Sure. Actually, it's kind of an interesting time for that question to be asked, because we find that in times like COVID, people are kind of getting this feeling of community, even worldwide, I think at least.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of, we were talking about this yesterday, actually, it's kind of one of the few things we can think of that the whole world is experiencing at the same time together.
Mm-hmm.
So it does create this kind of sense of community, kind of underneath all of the negativity, of course, that comes with it. But there is that sense of community kind of globally. And so I think that kind of dials back to that same sense you get when you give back locally and you support local. So for example, with Calgary specifically, it's such a strong community, especially supporting local businesses, local photographers like yourselves and local creatives. That whole community is where we actually first met you. And it's a big part of the reason why we wanted to make Yama the way we've made it, is because if you don't support each other in your community, whether it's your circle of friends, your city, your province, your country, whatever it is, I find that you're stronger together than you are apart. So for us, it's a big part of what Yama is all about.
Yeah, and speaking more about what this pandemic has done in a positive way is like, I don't think, we have the hashtag we're all in this together, and I don't think there's ever been a time where I've felt more like that, like more connected to people across the world. Like we're all going through this really horrific experience, but in some ways it's kind of beautiful. It's like, we can connect with people in like almost like a spiritual, like I'm here for you sense. that are across the planet. So like Pat said, yeah, I think it's really important to support your community, and whether that be like, you know, tight knit like in Calgary and Alberta, and right now, super important because Alberta's struggling in many ways, especially local businesses from like an economic perspective too. But I kind of see right now our community as like the major sort of global community as well.
Yeah, and thinking about what you said and the conversation we had before the interview, like it really, like, yeah, it's so like there's a few like bad apples of people, but we see a lot of good coming out of it from people, like people thinking of ways to help the community, to help those people who are less fortunate, that is more vulnerable than others, which is really inspiring.
Yeah, it's also really cool to see how small businesses and also individuals are using this time to get more creative with what they're doing, or they're doing new initiatives because of this, or they're adapting their business. And so like for you, for example, things like this, like what you've done here, it's things that are popping up, partially inspired or happening because of the situation. So some really cool like flowers that are growing out of this situation. Companies that are adapting, like you look at restaurants, and obviously they went through a hard time, but they're doing a lot of deliveries and pickups, and some of them are flourishing. Just so many things that are happening that are quite inspiring at this time too.
Yeah, I totally agree, and like there is, I find it compared to other places, Calgary have a strong local business community with
Sure.
it, like everyone helping each other out, even though you guys do. I see a lot of local businesses in Calgary. They don't see each other as competitors. They see each other as partners, as comrades, and they work together to reach their goals, which is beautiful, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally. Yeah, I think Calgary, I mean, has such a strong, I used to work with entrepreneurs, such a strong, thriving small business community. And like to be a part of it is a treat. It's like you never feel alone. There's always people who are there to support you through the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. And like you said, it's what do they say? Collaboration is the new competition. I think there's so many different cool ways to collaborate and connect with each other. So I totally agree.
Yeah, totally agree. And I love how you guys are are in a mindset of you guys have a specific belief and values for a business, and you guys are giving back based on those beliefs and values, and that's a unique thing for a lot of companies don't have this with that just why you guys are interesting people, and you guys are my favorite people. Don't tell the others, but yeah. So, and also I got a little fun question to ask you.
Okay.
During this pandemic, TikTok.
Yeah.
So how do you find TikTok? Good.
Yeah, I I didn't have TikTok before the pandemic.
I feel like a lot of people got it during the pandemic.
And the first day I had it, I'm pretty sure I spent like a solid 3 or 4 hours just watching TikTok. I'm glad to say I've recovered from that. I'm not spending 3 or 4 hours a day on TikTok, but super, super entertaining. And we love watching your TikToks and all your
Oh yeah,
dances.
watch all your TikToks, man.
do you want yeah, my TikTok is another way to express my goofy side.
Yeah.
I've been making goofy videos for 10 years now. Some of them got some of them got deleted by YouTube. I think I'm too sexy for YouTube, but yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love watching them. Your energy is infectious. It's really great.
Yeah, think you get really upset that I lost in the Cowboys lip sync battle 2 years ago.
You lost?
Yeah, I lost 10 grand to
No.
to a couple of girls who work in Cowboys.
Oh,
It's
it's
rigged.
fixed.
So I'm like, hey, man, get the bag. Get it so big.
There's
So
always next year.
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
So I wanna ask you guys one more question. So during this pandemic, a lot of people are going through a lot of mental health problems, a lot of isolation, of feeling alone. So what do you guys think about? What would your message be for those people who are feeling alone and who would need help with their mental health during this time?
It's a great question. Like in the spirit of being vulnerable, I think we've experienced a little bit of that, and myself in particular, because I work from home and don't spend a lot of time seeing other people. And Pat is fortunate to go to the shop and spend time with the guys. So yeah, I don't know. My message to them would be like, try and tap into that feeling of like we're all in this together, and try and stay positive as best you can. I know for myself, it means like FaceTiming with my friends or going on like a social distancing walk. We're lucky we have some neighbors nearby that we can connect with and walk with them, and know that this state is temporary. So we will be back to our regular selves at some point. But yeah, hang in there. Call the people you love.
Yeah, and on that note too, I would say people have to understand that they're not the only ones going through that. And I think everyone is going through that on some level. One thing that we actually talked about maybe last year, kind of kept in our minds, and it's pretty prevalent for this situation, is we've got 4 pillars for kind of our mental health. And so one is sleep. So of course, making sure that you're getting adequate sleep. The second is exercise. So doing something, whether it's walking outside with the dog, whether it's going for a bike ride, whether it's working out. And then the next one is nature. So getting outside and making sure that you are spending some time in the beautiful sunshine. And then the last one is diet. So making sure that you're still eating relatively well, you're not gouging on bad food, and that's just going to create negative consequences. So yeah, we call it SEND, SEND, for sleep, exercise, nature, and diet. Those 4 pillars, along with using your support group and your support system around you, is really helpful, I think.
I got that same part, but not the diet part. I've been really, really bad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your guilty pleasure for food?
McDonald's.
Why not?
McDonald's. But in my defense, actually, I don't have a good I don't have a gift for it, but yeah, and like I've been actually, yeah, I'm not even working out as much as I used to, but maybe I will start because of the nice weather.
Mhm.
You've been making TikToks, though. You've been
Yeah,
dancing.
man, dancing works. Dancing counts.
Yeah, I've been doing cardio
Yeah.
so yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and anyway, so I wanna say thank you so much for talking to me, during, for letting me interviewing you, and for your time in your busy schedule. You guys are actually the one of the first people that are really working, one of the first people that are working that I interviewed.
Hmm.
Yeah, you guys are the first one, so I'm happy to have you guys then. And next year when Stampede comes up, we should party
Yeah,
together.
Yeah, for
of
sure.
course.
We'll meet you on the grounds and we'll have a drink together. But really, we thank you, and it's always a pleasure talking to you. So
Yeah, anytime. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're around. So thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Anytime, man. We're gonna really want to getting it over. We can go and take some photos.
yeah, let's do it for sure. That'd be fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I wanna thank you to everyone watching with not tired of my voice yet, and wanna say vigilant and see. So see ya.